Hey, it's Regina here at Tarot and Time in Kent, Connecticut, and I'm here to talk to you about July. Everybody's excited about summer. Everybody's asking me about love. And boy, this is the time for love with Venus and the sun close together. Okay, there's going to be moments of this in the month of July, so let's make the most of it. I'm going to be talking about the astrology for the overall month to start off, and then I'm going to break it down week by week, and I will repost these videos, so don't feel like you have to take it all in at once, okay? And so let's jump right in. We start off, we know it's Cancer season. We know Cancer is a cardinal water sign, which means that it pushes forward the season of summer. Okay, so we just had the solstice on June 21st. We are into Cancer season, and beginning the month, we have Venus really close to the sun. This is a great time for love to show up in our lives. And whether that be new love or deepening our love or spending our time with our loved ones, there's a lot of love in the air. Okay, so the sun and Venus are going to be close together till about July 4th. Okay, so you're really going to want to take advantage of the beginning few days of July. Plus, the moon will be in Gemini on July 4th, which is such a social sign. So there's a lot of social energy. Okay, so get out and about. And the only way you're going to meet people is to get out and about if you're looking for love. Okay, now, with Pluto in the sign of Aquarius, we can have powerful people show up in our life this month, and we can have powerful new friends coming in, especially when there's some aspects to Pluto, which will happen more as the sun moves into Leo later in the month. Okay. Now, Mars, the planet of action, is going to be in the sign of Taurus until June 9th. From June 9th to July 20th. So it's kind of slow, beautiful energy. And then it'll move into the social sign of Gemini on July 20th, and it'll be there until September 3rd. So then it's going to get super social again. All right. Now, we have some cool things that happen this month of July. One of them is that we have our second Capricorn full moon. We had our first Capricorn full moon on the summer solstice, June 21st. And sometimes it's just the way it lines up that we get a double moon in the same sign. Okay, so the first one was at like 1 degree Capricorn, and now we're at the later degree Capricorn here for the second full moon. This is a great grounded full moon. There's a lot of energy about, because like the ruling planet of Capricorn is Saturn, and Saturn is in the watery sign of Pisces, which is kind of an interesting placement for this serious sign of Capricorn. So there's kind of some energy about working hard, playing hard, making sure that you schedule your fun in just as much as you schedule your work stuff in, your responsibilities, your family, your career. Okay. Maybe not just as much, but definitely a strong amount of rest. Okay. Creativity, daydreaming. It's summer. What could be better than swimming and kind of daydreaming about the way that we want our life to feel? Okay. We have Venus moving into the spicy sign of Leo on July 11th, and it'll be there for the month of July until August 4th. But we will have the sun and Venus close together in the sign of Leo towards the end of the month, July 22nd till about August 3rd. Okay. So this month is interesting because like I see a lot of trines at the beginning of the month, and trines are what everybody wants in astrology. It's the smoother energy, right? So a lot of trines going on the beginning of the month, but then as we get into the month, we have a whole lot of squares. We have a whole lot of opportunities for growth. Okay. So squares can be abrasive action, but if they hit just right, they can zest up our lives. Okay. So there's an opportunity for change. There's an opportunity for spice and zest. All right. So let's go into it. Let's talk week by week so we get a little bit better understanding of what is going on this month. Okay. So we start off where we left off, which is Monday, July 1st. And Monday, July 1st, we have a whole bunch of planets in Cancer. The sun is there. Venus is 7 degrees away from the sun, and Mercury's there at 28 degrees. Okay. So there's a bunch of trines between Venus and Saturn, and the sun and Saturn, and Mercury and Neptune. But the moon is really close to Mars. So things are spicy, but kind of warm and fuzzy. Okay. So make the most of when the moon is in the sign of Taurus on Monday, July 1st. Beautiful day. Okay. Tuesday the 2nd, we have Neptune retrograde starting, and Mercury, the planet of communication, moves into the spicy sign of Leo. We have the moon moving into Gemini right before lunchtime. And so it's going to be super social, but there's kind of a little bit of like slow down a little bit, Neptune retrograde. Okay. You're going to feel like it's party time. Just go slow, take it easy, and enjoy the planet of communication in the beautiful heart-centered sign of Leo. Okay. Wednesday the 3rd, the moon in Gemini will be conjunct Jupiter, the planet of luck, blessings, and expansion. We have a trine with Pluto going on. Feels really good to me this first couple days of July. All right. The 4th of July. Now, we do have, I was saying that there's a lot of trines. It feels good. Mercury will be opposite Pluto, so we have to keep that in mind. It's going to have social Gemini energy to it for most of the day. But there is a square with Saturn and Neptune. So Saturn is the rules, and Neptune fogs things, makes things unclear. Okay. So please, please, please be responsible on the 4th of July and don't push your luck with the rules. Okay. Saturn will always win. Friday, the 5th of July, the moon will be conjunct Venus, and it will be square Chiron. So we have an opportunity for some healing to come up if we can be really extra gentle to ourselves. We also have a trine with Saturn, and Mercury will be trine Neptune. So a lot of great energy on this new moon in Cancer on Friday, July 5th. This new moon in Cancer is really the remedy that we are looking for, because this is a moon about comforting ourselves, caring for ourselves, right? It's kind of coming in between two Capricorn full moons. We had one on June 21st, and we're heading to another one on July 21st. And in between that, we have the new buck moon, as it would be called, the new moon in Cancer. So there's a kind of a feeling of wanting to push forward, but don't forget the healing. What is my long-term self-care? This can help us receive the gifts of the Capricorn full moons. Okay. So don't forget the healing. It's the greatest remedy. And so just kind of bask in the beauty. All right. Have a bonfire, savor, enjoy home life, have a great meal, all those comforting, warm feelings of a new moon in Cancer on the 5th of July. So maybe you were out a lot on the 4th, and maybe the 5th is just a mellow, nice time. Okay, so don't forget, Mars is going to be conjunct Venus or Uranus most of the week. So Mars wants to go, and Uranus is like anything's possible. So don't get too rigid and hold on to your hat. Okay. Saturday the 6th, we move into a Cancer Saturday. It's trine Saturn and Neptune. It's opposite Pluto. And so we have the moon, Mercury, and Venus opposite Pluto. So there's a lot here where it could be spicy if we let it, but it definitely will be intense. Okay. So Saturday the 6th, the moon will be in Cancer until about 11:56 p.m. when it will move into the fiery sign of Leo. Okay. So we'll have a sun in Cancer, moon in Leo. The moon will be trine Neptune and opposite Pluto and conjunct Mercury. Yeah, there's a lot going on. Leos, I'm always talking about how Leos understand healthy, selfish. So maybe Sunday's a really good day for that. My advice for the weekend was sexy or destructive energy on Saturday, the 6th. It's your choice. Okay. You can use Pluto the way you want to. But Pluto does rule the reproductive organs. It does rule the emotions of sex. And so you have this choice here this week, okay? Sunday, let's get back to me, Leo energy. Just make sure to let others have a chance to speak. I have some tarot cards for you for the first week of July. And our first tarot card is the Strength card. And I'm happy to see it show up for a couple reasons. One is this is a Leo card, right? Look how beautiful that is from the Everyday Witch. This is the card of the year this year because 2024 equals the number 8. Okay. So there's a lot of power here. Look how attractive she is, right? Look how sensual she is. We were talking about the energy with Pluto. Okay. Now she has caused this twister back here. She has broken down what doesn't work for her. And she is stepping into her power and she's looking good. Okay. So this is one of your first cards here for the first week of July. I also have the King of Wands here. Now, the King of Wands is very much like Leo energy, right? Pointing at the map. Where is he going to go next? Looking for a new adventure. All right. Pretty fun cards. And one more here from the Cozy Witch Tarot deck that I've grown so fond of is the Three of Pentacles. It says, what's the saying? Teamwork makes the spell work. You know, I'm not usually too big on tarot cards that have words on it, but hey, this one is pretty amazing. I like it. So this is the Three of Pentacles building a foundation, right? Three of Pentacles is a foundation card, and it looks like there's some helpful friends there. We were talking about the energy of Pluto involved and how it can bring new people, new friends. Okay, so you're on the map, you're looking good, and you've got some helpful people with you. So enjoy this first week of July. Okay. Now, so Monday, the 8th, we have the moon still in the sign of Leo. It's going to be square Mars and Uranus. Okay. Now, Venus has a trine going on with Saturn and Neptune, and Mercury's opposite Pluto. There's a lot this month. Okay. So Monday, the 8th, remember others are involved too. Sometimes Leo can get a little focused on self, right? Watch your temper. Things are feisty. Okay. Please make note of that. Very feisty. A lot of this month, but especially on 7-8. Now, 7-9. The moon will move out of the sign of Virgo about 9:48 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a little bit smoother of a day. It's easy to overindulge because Jupiter's involved, okay? But Neptune is trying the sun and Venus, so it can be really beautiful. It can just be unclear, all right? Maybe it's a good day to go to the beach, all right? It's Tuesday the 9th. Now, Wednesday the 10th. It's easy to be rigid and to be oversensitive on Wednesday the 10th. Just stay focused on your daily tasks and keep moving forward, okay? Venus is going to move into the sign of Leo here on the 11th. And we will have the moon moving into, well, most of the day it's going to be in the sign of Virgo. And at night, it's going to move into the sign of Libra. I wrote down for the 11th, respect your psychic energy. Listen to the feelings that come up, okay? Lots of feelings coming up. Pay attention to them. They're not just there to give you a hard time, right? They're there to navigate you. They're there to help you out, all right? I know it doesn't always feel that way. Now, Friday the 12th, the moon will be in Libra. Things are foggy, but there's a chance for romance and creativity. All right. Take advantage of that energy. We will have a Libra to Scorpio weekend. On Saturday, it's kind of like your public life versus your personal life, and you need to look for balance. Okay. The moon is going to be square the sun. So it's kind of like complete opposites, kind of wanting something, your personal life, your public life. Okay. So try to find balance, but know that there's really no such thing. And it's always in movement. Now, Sunday the 14th, be extra kind to the women in your life because there's a square going on with Venus. And Venus rules all relationships, but especially ones with women. Okay. And so if you be kind to the women in your life, things might just go your way. All right. And as I do often, there's a picture of somebody bringing flowers, and I don't think you can go wrong with flowers. So that's my advice for you. All right, let's see some cards for this week of July 8th through 14th, and let's see what you need to know here. Working with the Cozy Witch and the Everyday Witch, and we're starting off with the King of Cups, and here he is, and he is the Water King. And he's at the beach, or at least he's on his own little island. So enjoy summer, but there's a lot of feelings. The King of Cups knows that those feelings are very valid and very important and very valuable. Okay, so don't overlook that. You've got the 9 of Pentacles here in the Cozy Witch, and it says pause and savor the results of your success. Why not? Look at that hammock. I think I put a hammock on one of my week ahead pictures, but maybe it wasn't this week. But it's a hammock kind of time of year, isn't it? Okay. And your third card is the 8 of Pentacles, card of hard work, right? And she's mixing up her potion there. So it's almost like with the 8 of Pentacles, it says, yeah, make sure that you're doing your work. But then you've got the king who looks like he's on vacation, and you've got a nap in a hammock. Okay. So that to me is like the epitome of Venus or Saturn and Pisces, right? Saturn is like hard work, and Pisces is like intense rest. Okay. So there's both going on this month. Okay, Monday the 15th, we have Mars and Uranus at the same exact degree, 26 degrees of Taurus. Be curious to see where 26 degrees of Taurus is in your personal chart, because there's going to be a lot of Mars pushing you forward and a lot of Uranus that has a lot of bright ideas. It's unpredictable. It can be like downloads of information. So there's a lot of energy there in this value sign of Taurus. Now, we have some trines between the sun and Saturn and the moon, and we have a square between the moon and Mercury. Okay, so the advice for Monday the 15th is that it's a great alone day. Watch your words, especially with romantic partners. Okay, that's going to be a big theme this month, is watching your words. It's almost like slow down, enjoy the summer, but you might want to keep the conversation light, because there's a lot of energy going on this month with Venus. Okay, now the 16th, I wrote more love, less talking, and show some love through your actions. Okay, so there's a trine with Venus and the moon on the 16th, but there's a square with Mercury. So just show love through actions. Why not? Okay, maybe pack a picnic. Maybe you do something nice. Okay, Wednesday the 17th. Again, less talk, more rest and gentleness. Write down ideas and speak them later. And, Mercury's got some squares going on with Mars and Uranus. We've got a square with the moon and Saturn, but thank goodness on Wednesday the 17th, we have a trine with Venus and Neptune. So this month, it's just like there's so many different, like we get a little trine, but then we get a whole bunch of squares. We just have to keep moving forward. Just pay attention to what life's showing you, where the change is, where you feel like you're not, where it's hitting and it's like you can't move ahead. Okay, try again later. Okay, because these squares kind of come and go. Now, Thursday the 18th, it's just way too easy to fight. We've got Mercury square Mars and Uranus, and your words can get you in trouble. So stay busy doing your own thing on Thursday the 18th while the moon's in Sagittarius, which the moon loves to go in Sagittarius, loves to go do its own thing. Now, remember, we're building towards the second full Capricorn moon. The first one was July 21st. The second one first one was June 21st. The second one is July 21st. This happens every once in a while when we have some of these longer months. Okay. And I think it's kind of cool when we get a double. So you Capricorns are really feeling it, and especially you Capricorns, because Pluto's going to come back and retrograde back into your sign by September. So you're kind of getting like this double dose of clarity, because you're going to be able to see, because the moon's going to be so bright. You're going to see what's not working. You're going to see where you're overworking. And remember, your ruling planet is in the sign of Pisces, Saturn in the sign of Pisces. So Capricorn, make sure that you're not all work and no play. Okay. And so here's your second chance to take a peek at that as we start building towards this full moon that will happen on Sunday. Now, Friday, work followed by rest. Continue to watch your words. Okay. There's a square with Neptune and the moon. We might not be able to know exactly what's happening. Mercury's squaring Mars and Uranus. So just take it slow with your words. Mars moves to Gemini over the weekend. And let's see, it's going to pick up speed because Taurus was so slow moving. So Mars is going to want to get out there and be social in this sign of Gemini. Okay. Now, the moon is also opposite Pluto on the 20th. So there is super social energy. You're going to kind of see what's coming up to change. And, you know, Pluto can be intense change, but it also can be some sexy energy. So keep that in mind too. Now we move into the full moon on Sunday. Let's see what's coming up for completion. Okay. And the moon will be in the sign of Aquarius. Now, Mercury is making a square with Aquarius. So we got a lot of Aquarius, and Aquarius rules large groups of people, and it rules our friends. And so we really want to watch our words so we don't hurt any of our friends. Okay. So I got the symbol for zip it and shut it this week because it's a good week for that. Now let's pull a couple tarot cards for this week of July 15th through 21st, this full moon week. Let's see what you need to know here. And your first card is the Six of Pentacles. Now, the Six of Pentacles usually looks like somebody, you know, some kind of financial exchange going on. All right, give and take. And remember, the key to this month is give and take, because there's squares and there's trines and there's Cancer energy and there's Capricorn energy. And it's like mom and dad, and there's this give and take. And it's nice to see the Six of Pentacles show up. Okay. Now, you also have the Three of Pentacles, which looks like a classroom setting. You are surrounded by like-minded people. You're building something here. And your Cozy Witch card is the Patient Witch. Learn to get comfortable with sitting still whenever necessary. This is the Hanged Man in this deck. And what a lovely version. Okay. So it looks like there's some give and take. There's some things working out. There's some things moving forward with the Six of Pentacles. Looks like you are surrounded by some people. You are learning from other people. Maybe you're in a classroom setting, or maybe you are just learning as you go to go with the work and the slow energy. You're learning how to do that. Okay. And the Patient Witch is here to teach you some patience this midsummer week, July 15th through 21st. Okay, so July 22nd through July 28th, welcome to Leo season. The sun moves into the fixed fire sign of Leo on Monday, July 22nd at 3:44 a.m. Things are a little unpredictable today with the moon in the sign of Aquarius. And also the moon is square Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius, one of the rulers. And so it's going to be interesting having that aspect while the moon's in Aquarius. Okay. So just hold on to your hat whenever Aquarius is involved. Now, Tuesday, the 23rd, we don't want to cause a war with our words. That is a theme this month. It's a good day to do your own thing. All right. Lots of squares and just a lot of intensity. So let's not get into it. The 24th, we have 3 planets in the sign of Pisces. One is the moon, one is Saturn, and one is Neptune. And so it's going to be foggy. So listen to the quiet whispers of your soul. Things are whispering to you. And if you quiet down, you might be able to hear them, and they can help navigate you forward. Okay, that is Wednesday the 24th. As we move into Thursday the 25th, the moon will continue to be in the sign of Pisces until 10:52 a.m. Lots of ideas, write them down for later. There's a lot of water energy, so it can be really creative. So just jot things down, okay? Chiron retrograde will begin, and on Friday the 26th, we have an opportunity for love healing old wounds. Okay. Arguing will make them bigger, but if you choose love, love can heal all the wounds. Okay. Now the moon is conjunct Chiron, and there's just some energy of healing. If you want it, and if you can stay calm and kind of quiet enough and allow that energy to heal. Okay. Now, the weekend. This is a Taurus weekend. My favorite. I love Taurus weekends. And so Saturday we'll have a trine. The moon will be trining Mercury. I wrote down enjoy the day on Saturday because it's one of the smoothest days. Okay. So try not to be too rigid. There's a little bit of Jupiter square Saturn. Try not to be too strict. Enjoy the day. You don't have to go crazy spending money, but don't be afraid to spend a little. Okay. Sunday, it's okay to have beautiful things. There's a moon is squaring Venus. Enjoy it without guilt. Okay. We got a bunch of squares that day. Enjoy the beautiful Venus energy. And, it doesn't mean you have to go crazy spending money. It just means don't feel guilty about the fact that being on planet Earth often requires spending money. Okay. We're going to have some meteor showers on the 28th to the 29th. So it's a really good time to be outside staring at the stars. All right. Now let's pull a couple cards for this week ahead. Let's see what we've got going on here. Any advice? And the cozy witch, we have the Queen of Swords, and it says, don't you dare lower your voice for anyone. Interesting. We're talking about watching your words. But there's a difference between lowering your voice, right? So maybe it's just that you haven't felt confident enough, or maybe you're afraid of what you're trying to say. And make sure that there's a need to be careful this week with your words, but it's like not out of fear, not out of not feeling good enough. It's just the choice that we know the timing might be off. Okay. Now, you have the Two of Swords. It looks like you're pretty on point here. All right. It's a 2. It's a relationship number. It's swords, which is more air energy, which is about communication. You have the 7 of Cups showing us some of the cloudy energy. She's choosing love. Please choose love this week. Okay. Please be kind to yourself and to others. Now, we are going to move into the week of July 29th we're going to go through to August 4th. Okay. And let's see what I have written down here for this. July 29th. Now, remember, this is the last week before Mercury retrograde. So if you're going to make big purchases, this is the time. Now, like I said, some astrologers don't even do it this week because they consider it the shadow period of Mercury retrograde. I personally wait to the last minute. So get your purchases done before Sunday. All right. Or let me tell you, it doesn't always work out well if you push it during retrograde. Now, if there's things that, like I'm always talking about how I have a store and how sometimes I just have to buy things, or sometimes you have to sign some contracts, but these are the kind of things you got to take really seriously. You've got to get these things checked out 3 times. Also, this is just not a good time for out of the blue purchases. Okay. I'm telling you, you don't want to learn the hard way. Okay, so Monday the 29th. Let's see. I wrote down run errands and mind your own business. The moon will be in Taurus till the evening. The evening will get a little bit more social. We have a square with Mercury. The moon will be square Mercury and Venus. Even though it's trine Pluto, Mercury itself will be squaring Mars. Venus is squaring Uranus. There's just a whole lot of squares. And a lot of these things, Jupiter square Saturn, they run through a lot of the month, and a lot through the month of August. Okay. So it is what it is. We're going to be able to see what's not working. We're going to be able to see what needs to change. And hey, it's still summer. So let's just roll with it. Okay. Tuesday the 30th, take care of your responsibilities first. That's because Saturn's involved and there's a square with Saturn. And we need to, we can easily get caught up in all the Gemini energy and just goof off and be social, but don't forget the responsibilities. 7:31, work hard, play hard. Don't ignore your relationships. Okay. The moon will move into Cancer by the evening, late evening on Wednesday, the 31st. The 1st of August, the moon will be in Cancer. It'll be trining Saturn. And this is Thursday the 1st, and it's a great day to be affectionate to those you love and enjoy a nice meal, okay? Take advantage of that comforting Cancer energy. On Friday the 2nd, we also will have the moon in Cancer. It will also be trine Saturn and Neptune. It's a little bit lighter of a day. We want to take advantage of these lighter days, so make sure that you play. Venus is leaving the sign of Leo. It's heading into the sign of Virgo as we go into a new moon weekend in the sign of Leo. Okay, so there's a lot of spice. There's a lot of fire. There's a lot of heart energy. Saturday, daydream of your future. There's inspiring ideas available. We have a trine with Saturn and Neptune. Sunday, place your order to the universe. This is my way of saying, like, make your wishes. Place your order to the universe. Ask for what you want from your heart. There's going to be a lot of inspiration with all this fire energy out there with this Leo new moon at 7:13 a.m. on the 4th of August. And then we go into the Mercury retrograde, which we're going to talk more about next month. But basically, Mercury is going to be at 4 degrees of Virgo when this retrograde begins, and it's going to move back in time. So basically, Mercury is moving along. It gets to 4 degrees Virgo. It retrogrades back all the way to 21 degrees Leo, and then it will go direct. Okay, so what that means is that it goes up to Virgo, it goes back to Leo, which is the same degree that we were at on July 16th. So whatever's been going on since July 16th, we're going back over that ground. We're going to get a fresh viewpoint. Okay, now Virgo's the analyzer and Leo is like the heart. Okay, so we have to ask ourselves some questions. Are we showing up for ourselves? Are we scheduling ourselves, showing up for ourselves? Because Virgo loves a good schedule, right? So there's kind of like this back and forth. We want to reflect on our brilliance and our passion projects. We want to look at, are we being fearful about jumping into our passion projects? Some of that could be related to being a parent because this is Leo energy. It rules children. There's a connection with your childhood joy, okay? And really taking a peek on that. Now, we want to be careful about misunderstandings in love during this Mercury retrograde because Leo's involved and Leo does rule dating in astrology. And good old Mercury just loves to mess with our forms of communication, okay? So be careful sending those text messages because they can get really easily misconstrued. It's really hard sometimes to understand tone in text messaging. And so be really careful in your dealings in general, but especially with relationship themes. Okay. And basically just kind of looking at Leo, our heart, Virgo, which is our contribution to the world, our service to the world, but it also has themes of servitude. Okay, so we have to look at where the fine lines are, and we're going to have plenty of time to do so because Mercury is going to be retrograde for almost the whole month of August. And then when it does go direct, I believe it's on the 28th of August, then it's going to come back over one more swoop over that time period from July 16th. Okay. So get your pen and your paper out, start writing down what's going on because it's always good to pay attention during a Mercury retrograde. I find interesting things happen. I find out interesting things, and it doesn't have to be dreaded. Will there be technology problems? Probably. Mercury was in retrograde when the new year started, right? So there's been Mercury retrograde themes right across the board all this year. And so now we are truly in a Mercury retrograde. And honestly, I think the age of Aquarius is going to include lots of internet problems and lots of technology issues. And so that's just my opinion. Pluto in the modern sign of Aquarius that does rule the internet. Okay. All right. So let's see what you need to know this last week of July. You're starting off with the Ace of Wands. There's a lot of inspiration here, and there's a lot of new ideas. This is pretty exciting, Ace of Wands. You've got the Five of Pentacles. You got some almost like the old wound coming up, the poverty mentality, the feeling left out in the cold. Okay. But it's five. You're ready to change that. Pentacles is anything of value. So there may be some relationship with money. Maybe starting to look at that a little bit differently. There's a lot of things coming up to change this month. We also have the the 10 of Pentacles, which says having it all looks different to everyone. And to her, it looks like having a lot of cats. And we are moving into Leo season here. So Leo is the cats. Okay. So it's really about what really brings you joy. There's an opportunity for freedom from some of this old, like Chiron energy, this old wound. It's time to allow that wound to be healed, to be able to help others with it. Okay. Looks like there's a lot of joy with the 10 of Pentacles. It looks like you're taking time to savor what's important. And I really hope that you savor some of this summer energy because it goes so quickly. All right. So I really appreciate you joining me for the month ahead. I'm going to be posting sign by sign readings for the month of July. Feel free to join me there. Enjoy.